Welcome back to Public Affairs on Peach. The Atlanta Fire Department is getting help replacing more than 18,000 potentially deadly counterfeit smoke detectors. The Atlanta Fire Foundation donated $5,000 to kick off the program. The foundation helps the fire rescue department meet their needs. The chairman said that they gave the donations because there's nothing more important than the safety of a person inside of their home. Then Wells Fargo Insurance Services and Fireman's Fund Insurance Company donated $12,000 to the Atlanta Fire Department to buy new smoke detectors. That donation is going to help replace about 1,500 of them. Well, the fire department is now working to replace those detectors in every single home. I sat down with Fire Chief Kelvin Cochran to get an update on his investigation into the matter and also what the fire department has learned from all of this. He also admits the hardest part now is once again earning the people's trust.
The confirmation that we received from Underwriters Laboratories was the whole turning point for us, that the smoke alarms were counterfeit. Of course, we had purchased 18,507 smoke alarms from a vendor who has a very questionable and checkered past, Silver Sales. And at the time that we discovered that the alarms were counterfeit, it was a game changer for us. First of all, our procurement processes in the city of Atlanta that had been successful on hundreds or thousands of procurements for the citizens of Atlanta for their services is the same one that we use for these purchases. So we had no reason to question that the procurement process would yield something that was defective or counterfeit. My first mindset was frustration, anger, that for 5 years our firefighters have worked diligently to install smoke alarms in homes of residents who are high risk of fires and fire deaths and who cannot afford smoke alarms on their own. And so you can imagine that as we install one and then another up to 18,000, there's a tremendous sense of pride and confidence building in firefighters that, hey, we're making a difference. And there's a sense of security that we're building in the community, that if something happens in my house, a fire or smoke, I will be alerted and can get out alive. Well, to find out that that's all for naught was a tremendous game changer for us. So the recall initiative is first and foremost in the minds of the Atlanta firefighters and me as the fire chief to get every one of those smoke alarms identified and replaced with a UL tested, authentic smoke alarm. We anticipate that it'll take us approximately 2.5 years. It took us approximately 6 years to do it. But those blitzes, as far as the canvassing of a community, we were doing that about every month, once a month. We're going to increase that rate to every 2 weeks. Members that have a counterfeit smoke alarm and they have the capability of taking it down and bringing it to their closest fire station, we will take that counterfeit smoke alarm and give them the UL certified authentic smoke alarms to take back home and replace.
These smoke detectors went to high-risk communities. Is there any fear? Do you fear the day that possibly within the next 2 years that there could be a fire at one of these homes where there's a fake counterfeit smoke detector that doesn't work properly?
Absolutely. You know, it's one of the things that's driving our sense of urgency, that we thought and our citizens thought that they were getting UL tested certified smoke alarms. That was our specifications that we had in the procurement process.
In your investigation, as I'm sure your investigators have looked into this, did you find that there may have been any backroom deals cut between the person responsible for buying the smoke detectors and this shoddy company out in California?
No, sir. You know, that's not the first time we've experienced, in this case, getting 3 bids and 1 bid being significantly lower than the other 2. Because we had no cause to question the procurement procedures up until that point. We just celebrated the fact that we had a very low bidder and that we were going to get more smoke alarms than we originally thought. And you know, that was our mindset until we discovered differently.
But as of right now, is there any questions about any backroom deals that possibly there was a cutback or possibly a payback to a firefighter who may have been responsible for buying the smoke detectors?
No, sir. We have no evidence that suggests that something along those lines was done.
I know many of you are asking, how can you tell a real smoke detector from a fake one? Jennifer Mayerly is going to be back with us in just a few moments to take us step by step exactly what you at home can look for to make sure that your smoke detector is real. But first, jot down this number. If you have a counterfeit smoke detector, call the Atlanta Smoke Alarm Hotline at 404-546-2733 or send us an email to smokealarm@atlantaga.gov.